Welcome to my next episode of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. This is episode number 34. And in this episode, what I'm going to do is show you how I finish the embellishments on my butterflies. So I start with the first little butterfly at the bottom where I showed you how I stitched on some lace wings last week. And I've decided that I will go ahead and add the extra wings because I just think it looks better with 4 wings instead of just 2. So I'm just using a very simple overcast stitch around the edge to hold the lace in place like I did last week using my silk thread. Now I'm looking at my bigger butterflies and I've cut up a piece of lace here, and what I'm going to do is just gather that lace up and create some little wings out the side. So I'm just playing around with the lace and seeing how I want those wings to look. So again, I'm just using my silk thread, so you can see I've cut down the lace and I gather it at the top, and I'm going to place that wing on the side of this butterfly. So using my silk thread, again, just doing little overcast stitches, just little tiny straight stitches all over the lace to hold it in place. Alright, so I've got my 2 wings stitched down in place and they're a little bit textural, and I'm just looking at adding some similar wings to my other butterfly. So again, using some pieces of lace that I've cut down. This lace is a slightly different colour to the other butterfly to make it look different. I'm doing the simple straight stitches or overcast stitches to hold the lace in its position. Now I want to embellish my butterfly wings a little bit further, so I've cut out these little shapes from this little, what would this be, like a little trim, and I'm just cutting out that little shape because I feel like it would fit together nicely with the wings, and I'm going to stitch them in place on top of the other lace which I already stitched down before. So I've got 2 little paired wings there, and using my silk thread, my light grey silk thread, I stitch them down to the top of the other, on top of the other wing. So onto my second butterfly again, I'm going to add just a little bit more lace at the top. It's a slightly different color again, a creamy color, just to give it a little bit more texture, like it's a couple of wings on top of each other. So all my lacy pieces are in place now on my butterfly wings, and I'm going to embellish their bodies a little bit. So on this butterfly here, I'm just doing some bullion knots across the body, and I also will end up doing the same on the other larger butterfly as well. So you can see now I've done bullion stitches across two of my butterflies. On this small butterfly, I'm using a thick cotton thread and doing a single wrap French knot. I'm going to do 3 French knots down the body just to embellish it a little bit. So now it's time to add some eyes to my butterflies. I've cut out some little circles of white felt using a hole punch, and I'm going to attach 2 eyes to each of my butterflies to make them look really cute. In the center of my little white circles of felt, I use a burnt umber, like a dark brown, chocolate brown. I use all 6 strands to do a French knot in the middle of each of the felt circles so that it looks like a cute little eye. And just a close-up now of my butterfly eyes so you can see what they look like. So all three butterflies now have their eyes in place, and I'm going to do a little bit of embellishing on the wings. So starting off with this butterfly here, I'm just doing some straight stitches in a satin style stitch with a cotton thread to give it some colour on the wing. And now some straight stitches or satin stitch on the little butterfly's wings in a pale pink to add some colour there as well. And some French knots in a darker blue in the little holes there that you can see on the lace. Time to add a little bit of bling. I'm using some pale pink sequins and a neon pinky red thread, which is just like a sewing machine thread, a thin one. And I'm making 3 little stitches up through the middle and out through the side on 3 sides to hold each sequin in place. And across the bottom of each wing, I end up adding 3 sequins in total. Now for some pale aqua, pale minty aqua sequins. These are smaller ones. These are some Italian sequins I bought on Etsy. And I'm using the exact same technique on the little butterfly's wing, where I'll end up putting 3 of the pale blue sequins on each wing. And finally, some darker blue sequins are going to be added to my third butterfly, and I'm holding them down in place with these minty coloured beads. And this is my final step on my butterflies, where I'm adding little antennas. Using the dark brown thread, I make a pistol stitch, so it's a long stitch with a French knot on the end to make it look like the antennas. So the embellishing of my butterflies is what I was working on this week. Very cute and whimsical, which is what I like to do. And that's what I'm showing you for this week. And next week I will do some final embellishments on my block to finish off my block for this month. I hope you have enjoyed seeing my different techniques that I'm using on my block. And I will see you again next week. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.